Strong developments for the month of April in immigration, especially for green card holders. These four groups of immigrants may receive an advantage in April and hopefully into May as well. In this video, I'm going to explain the four groups of immigrants, especially green card holders, who can now file petitions for themselves or for their family members. I'm going to break down these four different categories of immigrants, how to file their petitions and applications, and why it may be helpful for them to file right now. I have not seen a month of April like this in immigration in a very long time, and I cannot wait to dive in. And to top it all off, a federal judge also issued a ruling that could help 900,000 immigrants. Alright, so let's get into it. The four groups of immigrants with major wins for the month of April. And again, I love sharing this information with you, not only as an immigration attorney, but also as a former immigrant myself who has depended on petitions and applications like the ones we are seeing become available in April. All right, without further delay, let's begin. Number 1, green card holders. The F2A category is now open and it is currently current. So, the F2A category is for green card holders who want to petition for their spouse. So what does that mean? It means that a green card holder can petition for their spouse who is inside the U.S. and is in lawful status, and it will be processed. Typically, only United States citizens can do that. Before, the green card holder would have had to file that petition. They would be given essentially a visa number, and then they would have to wait for some period of time before it became current. But now in April, the F2A category is current. So if you are a green card holder and you have a spouse who is here in the US, you can petition right away as if you were a United States citizen. You can go on the visa bulletin and you can see all the information there for the F2A category. Green card holders, this is an incredible opportunity for you to bring your spouse, well, to file for your spouse. But remember the key. Your spouse cannot be here unlawfully or have any unauthorized status. Your spouse must be in lawful status, and that includes if they are here on a visitor visa. So now is the time to take advantage of that for green card holders, huge right now, and it is also for the countries that have always faced major backlogs like India and China. All right, number 2 group of immigrants, EB2 employment-based second category. This visa is now current. So, if you are an immigrant and you have an employer who is willing to petition for you or who has already petitioned for you based on your skill, experience, and extraordinary ability, they can petition for you and it is available for you to file right now. That category is now current and there are more visas available. Also, if you are an employer, this is great news. You can have that employee receive their work permit in about 3 to 4 months and then their green card later. There is no waiting. This is a great opportunity. In the EB2 category, what is required? It is required for the employer to give the employee a job offer. That is the first thing. Number 2, there needs to be a labor certification. There has to be a labor certification which essentially says that you have advertised that job and a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident cannot fill it. And number 3, that immigrant has to be valuable to that business. They have to have some type of degree or advanced degree, or if they only have a bachelor's degree, they have to have progressive work experience. Great opportunities, amazing for American businesses, amazing for employers, and also amazing for employees. And the same thing is available for the EB3 category. Number 3, asylum seekers. This category has been on hold for a long time, but they have just resumed processing. The Trump administration has stated that they will now resume processing for asylum seekers who are currently in the country. However, of course, there is an exception. This is only for asylum seekers who are from low-risk countries. They are not from high-risk countries. They are from low-risk countries. And of course, the administration will determine which countries are low-risk and which countries are high-risk. And 2, these asylum applications have to be screened and reviewed. But the good news is that they are now processing because there has been a major pause on asylum. But good news for asylum seekers because they are now resuming processing. And number 4, last but not least, a federal judge has said that the Trump administration has unconstitutionally revoked 900,000 CBP One parole entrants. So, under the Biden administration, 900,000 immigrants legally entered the country through the CBP One app, and they were paroled into the country. However, once it shifted over to the Trump administration sent these people letters and said that they need to leave the country, or some of them were even deported. The federal judge has said that this was unconstitutional and they need to essentially get back their status. They need to be reinstated. So, this is a win. It will allow people who entered, who were vetted and screened through the CBP One app, to be able to move forward with other processes. So, if you are one of these 4 immigrants, if you are a green card holder, now is the time to file that I-130 and that I-485 to adjust the status of your spouse. Of course, you do have to prove that it is a bona fide marriage. And yes, lawful status can be a visitor visa. And the second group of people, it's the EB2 and the EB3. Now is the time for you to file that I-140, right? And to also file your adjustment of status. That is what current means when it relates to the Visa Bulletin Board. So if you are an employer and you have been waiting, now is the time to file the adjustment of status. Or if you are that employee who has been waiting, you can ask for that job offer so that they can begin the labor certification process and then actually start filing with immigration. Number 3, asylum is now back. So now is the time when, if you feel like your asylum was not strong enough, right? Meaning you submitted a very basic application, now is the time for you to update it, right? To get those affidavits. Make sure that you have current country conditions. Make sure you have all the evidence that is needed for a strong asylum case, right? And a lot of times asylum cases are won and lost based on credibility. How well you testify, how strong your affidavit was to prove that you belong to a certain social group that suffered some type of persecution and that there is a genuine fear of you returning to your home country, but also because the government did not try to protect you. And last but not least, for the people who entered on that parole through the CBP app, now you can come out of the shadows if you are still here. You do have your legal status. Now you can file, right? And you may potentially have an asylum claim if you have not filed it yet. So, big month for immigration, and I hope this information was helpful to you. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment if this was helpful to you, or if you think it will be helpful for a friend or a family member. They could be an athlete, they could be an entertainer, they could be an employer, they could be an employee. If it is helpful, let them know about it. The time to act is right now.